Hey everyone, welcome to Dark Helmet Racing League in 9, round 2. We are at St. Petersburg tonight, and lots of hard racing, but a lot of incidents as well, so let's get into it. I'm here. I'm talking yet. Everyone else out there getting a reverb slightly from my audio, or is it in my? I got it cranked, so it shouldn't be too quiet. But see if there's another audio I can change. How's that? That better? All right, let's get into the review. So this one started as a very minor contact to start, but let's get in. Is there anything to do? No contact, just running wide a little bit. Then everyone had a checkup to avoid. This side is just avoiding the incident. I'm not worried about 13 have done anything. That one in a second. For this, erase incident. Doug's involved that racing incident. Vincent, I think, is racing as well. Yep. And Eric. Let's go. Could he have done anything to avoid the incident? I'm not too sure. So you would have seen basically nothing and saw this car pinch him down a bit. Should he have lifted to the cockpit? Yeah, so as you can see, this incident gets blocked pretty quick. Car's point of view. But he should be aware that this car is going to try to avoid that. This is really not enough overlap for my liking. Okay, Archie. There we go. That's above. That's very forceful. but people are checking up. But he's going for a gap that will always close with that amount of overlap. I know we say any overlap should be given racing room, but on a street course it changes just ever so slightly because if you run wide, there's no grass, it's a wall. So it's actually disadvantageous for the outside to run wide because it ends up ending their race basically. If we roll this forward, Corvette did lift there, but everyone in front was lifting about the same. Did he? No, he slightly lost control. I'm gonna give this one a 1. First lap, so I'm gonna be a little more lenient with everything that's going on there, but it's just a little too forceful into a gap that's always gonna close. In my mind. Now it's a 1 point because the other car only lost 1 or 2 spots and next to no damage on lap 1 with a stack up happening. That's why it's 1 point. These are, I think, a Corvette. But Vincent does the good thing here. It just keeps it locked down until he can be predictable, and then a car stops beside him, so he can then start moving out of the way. So nothing to do there. Code. Good decision. The racing incident. I was having a moment on the exit. Had nowhere to go here. Set again. Goes. Back. Racing incident on that one. This one will be on course here to make it to the apex. Again, road courses, you really need to have good overlap to have the racing room given to you. I don't feel like this is enough overlap at all, and he misses the apex as well. So if we look here, this car was already pretty wide, and the Porsche was not on apex. Apex is over here, right here. Just watch what happens when you here. Yeah, lots of damage. That's a 2.5. With the ton of damage trying to recover. Okay. So here, this is a bit of a lunge. Turning really a very late move. And look at the trajectory of the black Porsche here. If we look here, he's going to sail off to the straight line here. It's the contact with the blue Porsche that straightens him out. You can see right there, he's pushing wide, and then he flips him and it turns him back in. But did the blue Porsche give enough room? Barely. Like right on the edge. I think contact was going to happen anyways with the way the blue car was angling in. By apex, there's plenty of overlap. In fact, they're pretty much side by side, right? So here, yes, this car did run deep, but this car also didn't leave room at apex for the overlap. So, gonna leave this one as a racing incident. Semi Austin Powers moment. So this is late in the sprint. This car is being lapped. And Brennan here looks like he's being let by Todd. Todd slams on the brakes to let Brennan have the inside, but it's hard to telegraph that move. So Brennan just gets into the back of him. So no action. I lost the spot. No action. All right. So that is our sprint. I think we do have a couple incidents after. This one I'm not going to do much about, but if you're going to stop, don't stop on racing line, and don't stop in front of somebody. Just be a bit aware. It's like you're on the highway. Try not to stop. All right, feature. We're going to be here for a bit. This is going to be fun. I hope not. I hope it's not just one driver highlight reel. Thank you for staying with your brakes locked until everyone went by. That yellow line makes it easy to see which car moved. So if we look here, yellow line, this Porsche barely moves off it, if at all. Nice and straight, and McLaren turns in early, squeeze him, hits it. So the contact really affected himself. This car was not really affected at all. So I'm going to leave it as a racing incident. But if, say, this car spun, I would be giving the penalty to the 888 here for squeeze moving it down on another car that was there. And how did Troy end up there? We had lots of damage from that. He toes. ABS takes over. Most common crash at that corner in real life as well. So there was no way this Porsche on the inside was getting stopped for that corner. And trajectory has it going straight that way. Himself. I don't think the car gets a lot of damage. Not more than it already has. Racing here. Seems rejoin. And this was completely by accident, but incident responsibility still happens. You get that? All right. Similar to the other one. Let's watch this. And I think he was running wide. Oh, wrong button. So big send again. But the difference here is last time we had complete overlap. We don't this time. We have very minor overlap. This Porsche has plenty of room to the curb. And this one's starting to run a little wide. We walk this forward. The contact's made, which helps the Porsche on the inside turn just enough to kind of make the apex, but the damage is already done. It's been so, I believe, The this car lost quite a lot of spots. 3 or 4. Nickerson 2.5. For the loss of. All right. So this one's a bit complicated, but they're battling into turn 1. Phil and Nickerson. Phil goes down the inside, does a good move down the inside. Nickerson gives him room. Nickerson runs a little bit wide, trying to keep his nose ahead, which makes this corner really tight here. And he also approaches this curve at a different angle than he normally does, and it bounces. And that bounce is what sends him wide. Contact's made, and then he drives Phil into the wall. The driving into the wall was by accident, but you still need to be fully in control of your car. So this would be like not giving a car with distance to the edge of the track. So another 2.5. Actually, 1 for this one. Phil did get damage. I think he pitted, but I don't know if he got a meatball. He didn't. I would see it. And I've already looked at the steering wheel on Phil after this incident. Wheels were straight. I don't know if he pitted just at the abundance of caution. Go look at Phil's car. Maybe look at this side of the car. No real bodywork damage either. Yeah, that code. Not really. All right, so for Nathan, I'm gonna give a 1 here. Good hard racing, but it's just the squeeze into the wall at the end of it that, yes, uncontrolled, but you need to be in control. Okay, for the next one though, I have to pull in some help because it involves me. Okay. All right, Brandon, you ready? Just say something real quick. That worked. All right. Since this one involves me, I brought Brennan in to review. So let me know what you want to see here. I'll roll it forward at normal play. Okay. What do you want to see? Oh, yeah. Let that. Share my screen. Oh, here. Okay. Running through at quarter speed. Yep. Okay. So what do you want to do? Just weird damage. Okay. Thank you very much. And you're clear. Okay. So let's do all on this one. Which oddly enough, it didn't actually give Renner a penalty here to any contact penalty, but I'm going to apply it because it's still legitimate. Penalty call it 280.5. He was involved in this 2.5. Okay, so you couldn't hear Brandon well. Turned it on. It should have been able to hear. Um, so Brandon agreed with that more overlap needed to be given. It's just this in the spreadsheet. More overlap should have been given, and or more overlap was needed to gain the position. So if we go look at here, and consistent with the other penalties we've done tonight, so this gap was always going to close, what Brandon said, and it's really very little overlap, and contact was going to be made. It's really hard to run wide in here as well. So we're going to go with a 2.5 for avoidable contact because I end up getting a bunch of rear damage for this. But it's just consistent with the ones in the hairpin as well. So just consistent. I couldn't make the call. All right, let's get to the next one. We're only 10 minutes in. We got a long way to go. Code. This twice month. Yep, by himself. Ah, the creative pit entry. Weird. Corvette looks like he's trying to get out of the way. The weird brake. But right here, the Corvette brakes, which is not normal, which leads to the contact. I'll leave this one no action, but strange one. What happens when you drive frustrated? Action. Fine with that too. Oh look, it's me again. It was fine like two laps before with damage. Went through there fine. That lap, didn't like it. All right. So this is our first pit exit. Crash. So let's see what each could see from the cockpit. So relative would have been about 2.5 seconds, and then all of a sudden gone down right here to 0. Let's go see what the other card could see. Nothing either. But Phil here, because he's on the racing line, I'm going to say it's more on the Porsche than it is on Phil here, because Phil is just following the normal line. And Porsche really should be checking relative hard right here. So this one's going to be on the 277. Luckily, I don't think it gave Phil too much damage here. Let's just see how the rejoin goes. Because the session's ended, now my replays are all broken. And Phil towed. Voted for Phil. Because of the awkwardness of the situation, though, I'm only going to give this a 1. The 277, a really awkward pit lane, but more could have been done to avoid. But work at the track. It also had a blue flag up too, because going a lap down. So yes, this pit exit is evil. I'll leave that LeBron legacy question. There's no good way to answer it. A lot deep. Are we getting into a Jordan versus LeBron debate now? Camera's breaking after. I think this is Springer's in lap 2, and he was leading at the time. Really sucks. Toes from there. No action. No action. You get a meatball. Oh, it just blew up in the pits. Same thing. All right, that's it. Surprisingly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 penalties tonight. Unfortunately, Nickerson is 3 of those. Sorry, bud. Uh, so where are we next week? Next week we are at Imola for lots of fun on here, and then on Tuesday for the Mixed Up Cup, I believe we are at Okayama. So if you feel like coming out on Tuesday, free track, free car, I believe. Come on out, have some fun. And if not, see you here again on next Sunday.